My dad pulled me aside at my own birthday party and whispered, "When this is over, you're going to sign some papers for Uncle Dale, just a formality." I smiled, I nodded. Then I walked into the kitchen, opened my laptop, and quietly confirmed that every dollar of my inheritance, the cabin, the savings, the investments, was already locked inside an irrevocable trust they couldn't touch. The next morning, my parents discovered the truth. My uncle, who had already signed a contract to sell property he never owned, was on the phone with a lawyer before breakfast. But to understand why I was ready, I have to take you back 6 years. To Cedar Lake, to my grandfather, and to the summer he said something I didn't fully understand until the night I turned 18. I'm 12 years old when Grandpa Harold drives me 40 minutes out to the cabin in his truck. It sits back from the water, surrounded by white pines so tall they eat the afternoon light. The porch sags on one side. The screen door doesn't latch right. It smells like wood smoke and something sweet I can never name. We spend the morning replacing rotted fence posts along the south side. He doesn't rush me. He shows me how to press my thumb into the grain. If it gives, it's done. Inside, Grandma Claire has iced tea and sandwiches waiting at the kitchen table, the one Grandpa built himself the year they got married. That evening, he wipes sawdust off his hands and says, "This cabin stays in the family, Iris, but family isn't always blood. Family is whoever shows up." I'm 12. I think he's being poetic. He isn't. That whole summer, I'm at Cedar Lake every weekend. I learn which window sticks, how to bleed the radiator, where the water heater leaks. Grandpa shows me the property line markers, old iron stakes he hammered in himself. I don't know then that he's already talking to a lawyer about this exact place, and about exactly me. Back home, the air is different. Our house in Delwood is fine. 3 bedrooms, a yard, not warm, just fine. My sister Kelsey has the bigger bedroom, freshly repainted, a desk lamp that cost more than my entire bookshelf. My room still has carpet from the previous owners. Then one evening at dinner, my dad says it out loud for the first time. "Dad's place is just sitting there losing value," Greg says, cutting his steak. "Property taxes alone are killing us. We should sell it, reinvest." My mom nods, makes sense. "Grandpa said the cabin stays in the family," I say. Greg laughs, not a mean laugh, worse, a dismissive one. "You were 12, Iris." He was being nice. Nobody asks me anything else. The conversation moves to Kelsey's debate trophy. Later, clearing the plates, I notice a glossy flyer on the counter, half hidden under a grocery list. Ridgeline Development, lakefront lots, premium prices now acquiring. There's a handwritten phone number in the margin, not my dad's handwriting. I put the flyer back exactly where I found it. Go upstairs, sit on my bed. Someone is already measuring my grandparents' home in dollar signs. Grandpa Harold dies 2 years later. I'm 14. Gray sky, damp grass, folding chairs sinking into the lawn. I sit in the second row holding his handkerchief, blue plaid, frayed at the edges, smelling faintly of pine. At the reception, I notice Greg and his brother Dale standing by the dessert table. Not eating, talking low, Dale has a folder tucked under his arm. I catch one sentence, "We should move on this before probate gets complicated." They're talking about the cabin, at the funeral. I say nothing. I'm 14. I have no power and no voice, and no idea that my grandfather already accounted for this exact moment. 2 years pass, I'm 16. Grandma Claire gets sick in March and is gone by June. The last time I visit her, she takes my hand. Her grip is surprisingly firm. "The cabin is yours, Iris," she whispers. "Don't let them take it." "Promise me." "I promise, Grandma." She squeezes once and closes her eyes. After the funeral, another gray day, same folding chairs, Greg sits at our kitchen table and says to my mom, "Now we can finally sort out the property." He says it with relief. Like something heavy has lifted. That same evening, Dale calls. I hear my dad on the phone in the garage, pacing. Yeah. Let's get it moving." I'm standing in the hallway holding a glass of water, and something shifts in my chest like a stone settling. My grandmother's death isn't a loss to them. It's a clearance. I don't cry that night. I make a different kind of decision. I just don't know how to act on it yet. Between 16 and almost 18, the cabin becomes my quiet rebellion. Every Saturday morning, I drive out to Cedar Lake in the used Honda I bought with babysitting money. I patch the porch screen. I replace the weather stripping. I sweep pine needles off the roof, because Grandpa taught me that's how leaks start. At home, the cabin stops being Grandpa's place and starts being the family property. Greg says this at dinner like it's always been true. Dale starts showing up every other Sunday, sometimes with manila folders, sometimes with a laptop open to real estate listings. I try once. Grandma wanted me to keep it. My mom sets down her fork gently, the way she does when she's about to correct someone. Your grandma was emotional at the end, sweetie. This is business. Business. That's the word they use for everything that used to be love. By 17, Greg is more direct. When you turn 18, we'll figure this out as a family. The way he says family, I know it means his way. Then one afternoon, alone at the cabin, I'm clearing out the hall closet. Behind a stack of old quilts, I find a sealed envelope in Grandma Claire's handwriting. My name on the front. Inside, a single business card. Margaret Calloway, attorney at law. Below her name, in small print, T-Main Family Trust. My hands shake, not from fear, from recognition. Grandma left this here for me to find. She knew I'd be the one cleaning out closets, not Greg. Not Dale, me. I slip the card into my wallet. 3 months before my 18th birthday, Margaret Calloway calls me first. Thursday evening. I'm doing calc homework. Unknown number, local area code. Iris, this is Margaret Calloway. I was your grandparents' attorney. I need to speak with you before your birthday. There are things you need to know, and there isn't much time. Saturday, her office. Small, organized, smelling like old paper and coffee. She opens a folder. Your grandparents hired me 6 years ago, she says. They established an irrevocable trust. The cabin, a savings account, and an investment portfolio. Total value approximately $2.1 million. All held in trust. You are the sole beneficiary. The room tilts slightly. The cabin title was recorded under the trust at the county recorder's office 6 years ago. Your father doesn't know that. It never entered their estate. It can't go through probate. Your father and uncle have no claim. She slides a document across the desk, my name on the second line. Why didn't they tell him? Margaret pauses. Your grandfather said, and these are his words, my sons will sell that cabin before the funeral flowers wilt. The room is quiet. I stare at the paper. There's something else, she says. Someone has been making inquiries at the county recorder's office about the cabin's title. Within the last month, I start paying attention after that, quietly. The next Sunday, Dale comes for dinner. Afterward, he and Greg disappear into the garage. The door is open a crack. Not enough to see, enough to hear. Dale's voice. I already signed the purchase agreement with Ridgeline, $450,000, but we need the title clean before closing. How do we get it clean? Greg, quitclaim deed. Dad's gone, mom's gone, we're the legal heirs. We quitclaim the property to ourselves, record it, and sell. Is that legal? It's a standard real estate transfer between heirs. Nobody's going to question it. A pause. Greg, quieter. What about Iris? Dale's answer comes fast, like he's already thought about it. She's 17, Greg. She can't do anything. And by the time she's 18, the sale goes through. Done deal, we'll give her a cut. 50 grand for college, she should be grateful. I step back from the garage door. My hands are cold. Dale has already signed a purchase agreement. $450,000 with a development company, for a cabin he doesn't own, on land held in a trust he doesn't know exists. That night, I text Margaret 2 words, they're accelerating. Her reply comes in 3 minutes. I expected that. Come see me Saturday, Margaret's office. She lays out the timeline like a battle plan. The cabin title is already under the trust, she says. If Dale files a quitclaim deed, the county recorder should reject it. The chain of title won't match. Your grandparents haven't held the property in their personal names for 6 years. But if he submits additional documentation, An affidavit of heirship supporting paperwork. He could create what's called a cloud on title. It won't give him ownership, but it could tie the property up in litigation for a year or more. So I have to act first. You have to act on time. She taps the calendar. The moment you turn 18, you can formally accept the role of successor beneficiary. Once you sign, I file a lease pendens, a public notice of legal interest at the county recorder's office, first thing the next morning. That freezes the title. Nobody can record anything against it. What do I need to do? Show up, sign one document, I'll handle the rest. I sit with that for a moment. Should I tell my parents? Margaret takes off her glasses. Your grandfather specifically asked me to protect you, Iris, not to negotiate with them. I drive home. Greg is in the kitchen, cheerful. Good news, kiddo, I'm throwing you a birthday party. Whole family, Saturday night, it's a big one, 18. He smiles. Mom smiles. Kelsey claps. I smile too. My dad is planning my birthday party. My uncle is planning to sell my grandmother's cabin. And I am sitting at the kitchen table smiling, because in 9 days, I'm going to let them think everything is going exactly according to their plan. 5 days before my birthday, my mom sits next to me on the couch. Soft voice, practice delivery. Now that you're almost 18, there are some family decisions we should make together. The word together lands like a costume. The cabin costs money to maintain, taxes, insurance, repairs. Your dad's business has been struggling. If we sell, we could pay off debt and set up a college fund for you and Kelsey. Both of you, Grandma wanted me to keep it. A flash of impatience, quickly smoothed over. Your grandma was sentimental at the end, Iris. But sentiment doesn't pay property taxes. Greg walks in right on cue. I've already talked to a buyer. Good price, fair deal. Who's the buyer? He blinks. A development company. Dale knows them. What company? Longer pause. Ridgeline something, they're reputable. I'll think about it, I say. Greg pats my shoulder. That's my girl. He walks away satisfied. 3 days before my birthday, Dale shows up unannounced. Catches me in the driveway. Casual clothes, big smile, leaning against his car like he just happened to be in the neighborhood. He's a real estate broker. Nothing he does is accidental. We sit on the front steps. He leans forward, elbows on his knees. That lake lot, just the land alone, is worth $450,000. I can get us a deal with a buyer I trust. Fast, close, clean paperwork, and you'd get $50,000 cash for college. I let the number sit in the air. 50 out of 450. Dale smiles like I've said something cute. You're 18, Iris. 50 grand is a lot of money for someone your age. Most kids would jump at that. Whose name is on the deed, Uncle Dale? The smile freezes, just for a second. A flicker behind the eyes, then it's back. Your grandparents, but they're gone now. Passes to your dad and me as next of kin. That's not how it works. I know it. He should know it. He sells houses for a living, but he's counting on me not knowing. I'll think about it, I say. He stands, brushes off his jeans. Don't overthink this one, Iris. Opportunities like this don't wait. He drives away. Before he's even at the end of the street, he's on the phone. That night, I text Margaret, still accelerating. She replies, stay the course. 3 more days, 3 more days. I can do 3 more days. The night before my birthday, I drive to the cabin alone. Cedar Lake sits flat and dark under a half moon. The pines along the bank look like cutouts against the sky. I park in the gravel patch Grandpa leveled himself. Walk up the porch steps, the second one still creaks, and sit in the chair next to the one that used to be his. The air smells like rain and pine resin. Margaret has already sent the full document package, the successor beneficiary acceptance form, the trust confirmation, everything flagged and ready for my signature. At midnight, I read each document twice. Then I close my laptop and listen to the lake. Grandpa used to sit right here and say, patience isn't weakness, Iris. It's timing. I always thought he was talking about fishing. The tears come without warning. Not a collapse, just a quiet overflow I let happen. I cry because I wish this were different. I wish my dad had been the kind of man who brought me fishing at this lake instead of calculating its resale value. I wish my mom had asked me what I wanted instead of telling me what's practical. I wish I didn't have to sign a legal document at midnight to protect myself from the people who were supposed to protect me. But wishes don't hold up in court. Trust documents do. I wipe my face, lock the cabin door, drive home, and set my alarm for 11:45 p.m. In 6 hours. I turn 18. In 7, my family finds out the cabin was never theirs to take. 11:50 p.m. My bedroom door is closed. The house is silent. I open my laptop. Margaret appears on the video call, reading glasses on, desk lamp lit, stack of papers at her side. Ready, ready. When the clock hits midnight, she walks me through the signing. I sign the acceptance of successor beneficiary form. From that moment forward, every decision about the trust's assets runs through me and Margaret as co-decision makers. First thing tomorrow morning, she says, I'll file the lease pendants at the county recorder's office. Once it's recorded, no one can sell, transfer, or encumber the title while it's active. What if they've already filed something? Then whatever they filed will be flagged. The chain of title will show the trust recorded 6 years ago, not your father. Any conflicting document gets rejected. Her voice softens just slightly. This isn't a trick, Iris. This is your grandfather's last gift. You just had to be old enough to accept it. The clock reads 12:03 a.m. I'm 18. I'm the legal beneficiary of the T. Main Family Irrevocable Trust. And downstairs in the garage, Dale's quitclaim deed is already a dead document. He'll find that out in about 9 hours. My birthday party is that Saturday evening. The house is full, relatives, neighbors, Kelsey's friends from school. My mom made a layered cake with my name on it. My dad grills in the backyard, laughing, relaxed. Dale is there too, plate in hand, telling a story that makes everyone around him laugh. I watch all of it. I smile when smiled at. I hug who needs hugging. 2 hours in, my dad pulls me aside. Quiet hallway, his voice low and warm. When this is over, he says, you're going to sign some papers for your Uncle Dale, just a formality. I look at him for a moment. My dad, my actual father. Standing in the hallway of the house I grew up in, asking me to sign away the only thing my grandparents ever fought to give me. Sure, Dad, I say. We can talk about it. He squeezes my shoulder and goes back to the grill. That night, after the guests leave and the dishes are done and Kelsey falls asleep on the couch, I sit at the kitchen table. The same table where my mom told me sentiment doesn't pay property taxes. Where my dad said we'll figure it out as a family. I open my laptop and transfer the full trust asset summary into a secure folder Margaret can access in the morning. Then I close it, go upstairs, and sleep better than I have in months. The next morning, Greg's coffee is still brewing when Margaret files the lease pendants at 8:04 a.m. By 9:15, Dale is at the county recorder's office with his quitclaim deed. The clerk pulls up the title, flags it, asks him to step aside. By 9:45, Dale is on the phone with Greg. By 10:00, Greg is standing in my bedroom doorway. His face is the color of old chalk. He doesn't yell. He doesn't even raise his voice. He just stands there holding his coffee and says, "What did you do?" I look at him from my desk chair. "I accepted what Grandpa left me." He stares. His mouth opens and closes once. Then he walks downstairs without another word. Dale threatens legal action. His attorney makes one call to Margaret, reviews the trust documents, and advises him to drop it. The trust was established legally, recorded properly, and my grandparents' signatures are 6 years old. Dale's purchase agreement with Ridgeline Development is null. He contracted to sell property he never held title to. I don't gloat. I don't send a message. I don't need to. The cabin is mine. It always was. My grandparents made sure of that long before I knew to ask. A few weeks later, I drive out to Cedar Lake alone. The road is quiet. The pines are starting to turn. I park in the gravel patch, walk up the porch steps, the second one still creaks, and sit in Grandpa's chair. The lake is still. The air smells like wood smoke and coming cold. I think about what Grandpa said that summer when I was 12. Family is whoever shows up. He showed up. Long after he was gone, he showed up in ink, in legal language, in a trust document with my name on the second line. And I showed up too. For 6 years, I drove out here every Saturday. I swept the roof, patched the screen, learned which window sticks. I showed up for this place when no one else did, when everyone else was calculating the price. I sit there until the light goes gold across the water, until the pines throw long shadows across the dock, until it's so quiet I can almost hear him. Patience isn't weakness, Iris. It's timing. He was right. He was always right.